All right, good morning, everybody. We had a good weekend. It's the dreaded day of the week, a monstrous Monday. What a jam-packed week of AI reporting. Super fun. Oh, there's my alarm. Let me get on this call. I'm already here. Good. Uh, I didn't do anything this weekend that was relevant to the market. In fact, I even forgot to do the podium, which I apologize for. By the time I realized I didn't get to it, it was too late to do all the research to get there. Instead, I did some more painting and got things organized for all that. There, getting the new office spaces ready. Morning, Ginger. Good to see you.
What's
What's
up,
up,
everyone?
everyone?
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How was
How's
everyone's
everyone's
weekend?
weekend?
Well, mine was full of gray primer. So I did a
Oh,
oh, the other thing I did too is I got to get on my 20-foot ladder and get on the roof this weekend. I mounted my Starlink receiver, and so gonna switch internet when I move, and so got that mounted and try to use their little app to, like, you've pointed at the sky and it tells you where you point it and everything else. That confused the hell out of me. I don't know why. I feel like I am like one of the most technically strong people out there in terms of understanding all this shit, but Elon sometimes just takes me for a spin. So the good news is at the end of all of that crap, when you do it wrong, there's then a like realign button. You can hit that, and it says, "Oh, just turn it this way." It's like, "Oh, okay. Well, if you just told me that from the beginning, then I would have had this problem." But
and it
yeah.
seems
Seems
like you
like you
fixed
fixed
your
your
internet
internet
and
and
your
your
computer and
computer and
everything.
everything.
No,
Sounds
this
Sounds
is
amazing.
all
amazing.
still on the old system here. So I am going to pick everything up and move it over there when I'm done. So I converted a barn into an office, and so this where we are right now is in my house. So I have the old internet here. I did find one of my routers was not routers, but my mesh system. One of those the sub units there was actually unplugged from the wall. I think the housekeepers used the outlet and left me left me undone. So I think that hole may have had something to do with these past couple of weeks nonsense as well.
Oh
Oh
my
Uh,
my
god.
god.
but yeah. So anyway, so fixes all around for everything, right?
Yeah, but it
Yeah, but it
sounds
sounds
amazing.
amazing.
You
You
sound
Thank you.
sound
there's
there's
no
no
Oh, and I'm on
break.
a
There's
new I'm on a
nothing.
new headset. I got my old Bose headset with a wire. See the wire here, so that I can't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was doing the wireless, Jinja, if you were talking, it would cut you out all the time because my system was trying to split my audio. I don't know. I read all up on it about it, so this call should record perfectly. Yeah, hi-fi sound the
Fantastic.
same. Nice, Big Daddy. All right, Jinja, I am going to allow you the pleasure of deciding whether you want to go
Oh,
first or
Oh,
so
so
second,
nice.
nice.
and you tell me, and I will get us all set up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's
go.
go.
I'll
I'll
start
start
it.
it.
All
Let's
right, let
get
me
Get
this
just
this
going
push
going
one
on.
button
on.
here, get your chart in place. You're good. Oh, other thing too, Ginger, I added that you don't necessarily know about is I put on the running beginning. I have the timestamp on everything, and I have the running clock
Uh-huh.
on
Uh-huh.
here too, so people can actually correlate this to their charts when they're looking at things during the day when we actually had these
hmm
Mm-hmm.
conversations and stuff. So it's all timestamped now. You're live. You're being recorded, and we're good to go.
Great.
Great.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
everyone.
everyone.
I hope the weekend was amazing. Back to the charts. Back to this drop in bounce. Incredible, right? What happened on Friday at the end of the day? We just melted all the way up. And then we had some news that brought the market down. And over the weekend, futures just gave us a nice gap that we're seeing here. Okay. And what this means is we have, as you can clearly see, we have cleared the 748 to the 750 next level, right? So if we go back to what happened last week, we had the 732 level, 731, 730, 732 level. Okay, we wick there. We were able to overcome that. Then we have the 736, 737 level. We are above that. Then you have the 740 to the 743 level up there. And then we have the 748 to the 742 level. Right, if we break the 742, all-time highs. Okay, this is what happened here. Okay, we was very weak. The reason I think this is happening is because there's two factors I think here that is happening right now. I think everyone realized that Iran is a dead end. Nothing is really going to happen. Things are just going to calm down. And number two, there was a lot of opportunity to buy down here, what they did. And this just created a snowball that we keep going, going, going. And we have NVIDIA earnings and everything coming out of tech right now, especially chips, is really good. Okay. So this is creating some strength here. The question is, are we going to make another higher high? Here's my theory. I don't think we make another higher high in August. We're gonna be or before the midterms. I think we're gonna go there again, reject, and then after the midterms, you guys know how the market works. It always pumps and explodes because the market hates uncertainty. We might go there yet, but there's a high chance if you can close that daily candle above this level here, above 757, that we go and test that. Okay. We'll see how there's a couple of data today at 10 a.m. Manufacturer ISM, if I'm not wrong. We'll see what will that do to the market. The market loves to close gaps, right? So we have a gap below us. If I put my right here, okay. So this is what we can look at the daily. This is what I'm going to look on the day trading, right? Previous day high from Friday. We love to retest that. And this is what usually determines if the market is going to continue up or is going to continue down. There's two levels. The first one is going to be the previous higher day because it's the first one to reach. And then the second one is the previous day close. Okay. You see how we were like 748, almost 749. And then I can't recall what was the news. Something they released something and we dropped $4 almost here. What was it? 746, $2. 746, that's where we close. So this is what we have support, right? And it's clear as water. Look, pivot level, wick, open, close, open here. Okay, so this is a big 747. It's going to be big. Are we going to be weak enough? And this depends on the data this morning. Are we going to be weak enough to lose Friday high day? If we don't lose it and we can bounce off of it, we're going to continue the upside. If not, we're going to retest Friday's close off day and the 9 EMA probably down here on this 4 hour. Okay. This is our daily. This looks like, man, it's insane. Market looks good here, but you see the accumulation. We haven't got from the same range since May. It's insane.
What do you
Okay.
think, Ginger, here in terms of how this plays out? I heard you say August, we're probably not hit new highs in August, but you pointed up to a range in the top here where you think we bounce off of. So we continue up and then bounce off to come back down towards the midterm. So where do you think we peak out at? Is it at that same level on the second peak or the third peak, or do you think we kind of go a little bit higher and split the baby and then come in? Just your guess. I know we don't have crystal balls.
I think we're gonna go. Yeah, no, of course, but I think we're gonna go to 755 ish here, especially with them.
Because we're at 751 right now. We're close to that.
Yeah, we are. There's a couple of data this week on JOLT and all that.
Yep.
If those are all favorable, we're gonna continue the run and we're gonna hit where the indicator is.
Yeah.
757.
Okay.
Okay. This is my question, and I don't have an answer for you right now because you see this here.
Yep. We could reject there too. Yep.
The daily needs to close today. We need to claim this today. Tomorrow I'll have a much better answer for that. But that's a great question. If we claim this, we're going to continue. This is what
I'm struggling too. I see your bounce for sure. Yeah. I agree with you. We're going to pop back down. Yeah.
See there? That is the next level right there. Yeah. So we got to be careful of what's happening. I read something very, very interesting that I need to do some more research. I looked at it. this morning about two major hedge funds. One of them, where everyone knows, it's Citadel, and another one is this guy Leopold something that has been making tons of money with AI and chips. And Citadel bet against him and went short.
Oh yeah.
And is trying to destroy him. And apparently they were able to, but I need to do more of my research before I really talk about this. And apparently with this guy is exiting, we popped again. Okay, and Citadel was buying down here. So this apparently, I don't know. I need to see exactly what's happening. But this is very odd, guys. Look, this it's happening for too long.
Yeah.
Too long. It's too many months. If you look at the charts, this barely, you have this 1 or 2 months, 3 months max. We don't sit like that for so long. Okay. There's something that the market is waiting that we need to figure out what it is. Okay. And we don't get out of this. But let's see what happens today. I think if we hold this 746 level, 747 level, yeah, another pump this week here to continue. Very, very crucial is to hold the previous Friday high a day or previous Friday close of day. Okay. What can happen too is we're in a new weekly candle, we're in a new monthly candle. And this is why I want people to be very careful, because we're opening the candle. We can make the top wick go there, and then we melt all the way down. Okay, look at the monthly here on SPY. Do you see what happened here? Okay, we last month was exactly the opposite. We open, we melt all the way down where we have support around here and here. Okay, and we bounce. So we got to pay attention to this candle. What are we going to do? We're opening right at the middle of the previous one. So definitely this open and this close here, the 755, 756 level might be retested with a wick. We're almost there. Why not? And then this here, this close of the month, there you go, the 746, 747 level is going to be retested here on the month of July, sorry. Right here. Where's the wick? I have so much stuff here. I'm trying to see what's the wick of the other month. I think it's right here. We're above it, okay? Yeah, this most likely is going to be tested. Look, close and open on the monthly, this 747 level. We're going to come here, and this is exactly where we have our block and if we lose that, then we go here, okay? But same thing, both 3 months in a row, we come and retest the mid sevens or low sevens, okay? In May, the 17th, there you go, 715, then a little bit higher, 716, a lot higher here. We never even drop pretty much from 730. I think we can come down here and see what happens here and then retest this low there. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but the market is very shaky. And with midterms coming, if it's almost a given that we're going to drop before the midterms. That is always happened in the past. So be ready for that. And then after the midterms, after you don't have uncertainty anymore, you know what's happening, we bounce. But this 90 MA here, guys, on the monthly, this is why we can come and retest this. And this is 709. On the weekly, we retest already almost the 21. With time, this is going to come up and it's going to seem like we bounce perfectly from the 21. Here too, right? 2 tests on the 21. The next one, most likely, the third and the 4, usually you drop below the 21 and you bounce between the 21 and the 50. Look where the block is. 700s. Will we get that candle in August? We'll get that wick in August. The problem with August is there is no volume, so it's very easy to manipulate the market. Okay, the world stops in August, except the United States. Europe completely stops. Try to do business with a company in Europe in August.
Yeah,
I've been there. It's impossible. Forget about it. Okay, so this is what I'm looking here. I'm not saying we're gonna melt up, but I'm looking to see a wick here, and the market has been doing it. This strong wins and then bounce. It might be a good opportunity to restock on some stuff here. Okay, I don't want to take too much time. Let's go to our stuff. Before we go there, I just want to show the cues here. Okay, the cues, look, the cues, what it's showing here. This is my Fibonacci. The perfect bounce at the 0.382 here. Okay, we didn't really get to the golden zone bouncing. And now if I go here to the 4-hour, this is what I think is going to happen today. We need, on cues, it's imperative that we close above 696, 697. Okay, if not, we're just going to come here, retest the 200 at 700 and die. Okay, this is what we can do here on the 4-hour. This is what I'm looking now. What? We fill up the gaps and then we come down. You see here, fill up the gaps, down. Fill up the gaps. You're gonna see. If we don't, if we close the 4-hour above this 797 or the 700, we're gonna continue to the upside and look at the 709, 7010, right there, that pivot level. Okay, around there. So for this to continue the upside, we need to hold definitely here 679, 680. Okay, for this continuation. Okay, otherwise we're gonna retest the reverse candle. Oh, if we don't hold this level, it does this all the time. This is my strategy on the 1 minute. Hits the 50 MA, I short it to the 90 MA, I scalp, I trim there. My stop loss is above the top wick, and then if we don't make a higher high, I'll trim again here, okay, and then still holding some runners, and then hold until we get here to retest this. Okay, this is the typical move of the charts. So if we don't get that high, we're gonna come retest around here, 680. And then if we lose that, we're gonna come and retest the rebound candle right there. Okay, that's 664. Oh, another thing that is very important too. We have AMD and
PLTR,
ScanDisk, PLTR. There's some very important companies this week. There are reporting, and that is going to really be important. I think everyone is waiting. There might be a trap there. Everyone is waiting for AMD to drop on the earnings because that's what all the other ones did.
Yep.
Report excellent earnings and drop. The only one that was really exception was Microsoft. That are doing things a little bit different. But all the other ones, especially are the chip companies that are reporting great earnings that they're dropping. They might inverse. They love to inverse on AMD on the one then the following week. Okay, so keep an eye on that. I might actually put some money there. I'm gonna see how the market. I might put some money.
You're gonna play earnings?
I might.
Oh boy.
See if this level. Okay, let's go to Tesla. I have 5 minutes. Tesla, like I said on Friday, is looking good for the bounce. We need to claim here. If we go 316, next level is 325, okay? And the 90 MA. And I think Tesla can do it. Tesla loves to fake it on open Mondays. He has a big old red candle. If the candle doesn't go below this one here, 296, I will look into get into here. I really like Tesla here. IBM, I still have some IBMs. Man, this was a perfect A+ trade. There was our previous all-time highs. We wait for this on the lower time frame to retest all-time highs. Look at that. Look at that wick. Look how beautiful that was. Perfection, the retest. I didn't get in the first one. I waited for the retest. And now we just literally make a wick. I would love that this candle would have closed. But if we had closed above that wick, we'll just continue. And now what we're waiting is the bounce here, holding this level, 215, and get to the 21 EMA, okay? Then the 20 EMA rejects, comes retest the 9. If it holds the 9, we go and retest that level right there, okay? At 244. Okay, the levels are, look at our indicator, guys. Look at indicator, then look all this wicks from those things. Okay, this is the important level here that we didn't touch. That's why I think we're gonna go there again. That one is that pivot level. Okay, but trading previous all-time highs and the bounce from them is extremely strong. Same thing with Netflix. Okay, I didn't trade Netflix, but we had work. Look, comes down here, and the reason I didn't trade it, I'll tell you right now, that it didn't touch. So no trade for me. I didn't get in here because no touch there. Do you see the 4 hour? It was very close. Didn't touch it, so I never got in. Okay, and now this, we are, let me see, the 4 hour is going above that level. This is looking good, guys. All the EMAs are here creating support. We just need some volume here, and then we'll continue. It's already, it's not above, this is what I'm waiting, it's not above the channel, okay? Yeah, that's why we need to be careful with this channel, okay? That's IBM, and then that is Netflix. The other one that I was been talking about is PayPal, okay? PayPal is, this is what I'm looking for, okay? We are almost there at that 60 range, okay? Get in there. Bounce perfectly on the daily on the 9 EMA, okay? That was a good entry too. If you had entered there, you would have bought it at 56-ish, 57. We're now almost at 58 right now. They keep going. SoFi. SoFi, I'm a buyer. Like I said, we can play this with stocks for the upside and edge with puts to the downside. Okay, this is a critical level right now. Every single time you should buy it blindly. Every single time that buys it's 15. Okay. Look, 15, 15, 15, boom. And you should sell blindly every time that it's just 20, around 20. Around here, you start selling. Okay. I think we're going to bounce here and go retest at least those high 18s again. Okay. But let's see how this candle closes today. This is a nice bounce here on Friday. I really like this, holding that gap to perfection. Look at this. I had drawn this. This was the gap. Okay. We close the gap, comes down, retests the gap. This is very bullish. As long as we get the continuation right now. Retest doesn't lose the gap. Okay. Retest there and it bounced. So we'll see how this goes. My concern is just the weekly doesn't look good whatsoever. Okay, there's a lot of consolidation here. Rates are not going to go anywhere. SoFi is really struggling with interest rates. But the thing with SoFi is, you look at the fundamentals of the company. I did my research. This looks strong, really strong. They have the highest amount of members that they ever had in terms of growth. Their revenue was record. Their profitability for next quarter is high. Everything is looking really good. The CEO is invested in the company heavily with stocks with its own money. So held at 200 here on the weekly, never closed below it. Okay, and now what we want to do is what we do all the time is close the gap. I'm not saying this is going to go to over there. I'm saying is I like it until here, until we get to the 1920 to retest to get that level.
It's a great range
and close
trade.
this gap here. Yeah, on the weekly. So this will bring you really good money here. And if you want, you can buy cash secure puts. Okay, that's another thing that you can do too. There's so many things you can do with SoFi right now at this range. And that's it. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna leave the rest because we have 10 minutes. So that's it for me, guys. Trade safe today. Be careful with the news. Whoever is gonna day trade at 10 a.m. There might be a big shift of what we're doing right now.
Thanks, Ginger. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right, I'm gonna shift on over to my 4-panel chart, and I believe that is displaying for you guys. Oh, by the way, Botsy, awesome shirt.
I love that.
I love that shirt. Charts, trends, ninjas, and bananas. All right. All right, over here on the VIX. So here was the level 18 and a quarter. It gave way on the afternoon close there after 4 p.m. And then proceeded down over the weekend. So the VIX is cooperating with a push up higher. ES with a nice gap here on ES as well. Pushing us back up here. We're going to push, which looks really, really strong. And again, like Ginger said, this has limitations, and we do have midterms coming up. So the caution I see about mid-month, I see us changing direction here. And I'm trying to hone in on that, which is why I asked Ginger his thoughts, because I want to make sure that we're kind of all in sync and we kind of see if he sees something I don't see, we always converse back and forth. So you get to see that real time sometimes as well. So open on SPY, looking in the 751 range, a nice 5-point gap on the open there. Pullbacks or back tests won't really surprise me or
Sorry to
concern me.
interrupt you, Banana.
Yeah,
We can't see your stream. You can see your chart.
you can't?
No. Or
Well,
it's just me. I think
That's crappy. Let me see here. I thought I had
Crowbar
put it up
cannot
already.
see it too.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just.
I saw it earlier.
Yeah, where'd it go?
But with the switch.
I was trying to open another window with.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
We
guys.
got it now.
Sorry about
Yeah, there you
that. So here's our just VIX, blah blah blah. ES, yada yada. SPY up here, 751, 5-point gap up, so that looks good. So pullbacks aren't going to concern me too much here today, but obviously want to hold the Friday's low of day, as Ginger already pointed out. Hit Bitcoin for a second. Look at this conflicting scenario here. We have Bitcoin below the 63.8 threshold that I like it above. Again, we lost the session on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we closed just under it here. So you can see Sunday's close at the 63.5, which is the close for the week for Bitcoin, and the monthly close down here. So all in all, we're in a consolidation range for Bitcoin. It really doesn't matter how far you go back. This is the tail of that range, what it kind of looks like. Needed to pull back 63.8. Would like to see us punch into the 65s before we get mid-month here, so that we can actually have a climbing indicator with Bitcoin. I think its time is due. Just switching over to the war chart now. Going to give you guys this run here. So what changed since last week is important. You'll notice on the post that I put in the social channels for you guys here too, the big important thing is that we have dropped below 80, just right in that range here, which is gives us some more strength in the market here. 85 puts us back in the other direction. So that's how fragile it is. I know geopolitically we have some meetings today, tomorrow, no deadlines, impending doom, blah, blah, blah. We're all over it, but at the same time, if something happens, it's going to cause a reaction. So just need to be alert to all that. PMI today, too, as well. I think the PMI is going to come in soft, meaning that the inflation is going to come in soft again today. So that should give us a little bit of a push as well. The range is tight, though, today on this. So we will see how we grow out of it. But, yeah, watch out on the oil side to see if that spikes with any news coming out of Iran. I can skip all that. I could get over to Soxal here. One of the more important positions for the day. We've got PLTR tonight with earnings. And a couple of others this week. Obviously, AMD, a big one of the contributors here as well. So what I'm looking here for Soxal is, as the market continues to climb, Soxal has to retest lower levels here in order to push up. This pullback here does not concern me at all. But what I do want to see is us to absolutely, under no circumstances, fall below Thursday's lows there. Wednesday is the bottom. I don't even want to get close to that. If we get down into this 90 range or whatever, I'm going to add to the position as soon as we, assuming we aren't going below that, we don't lose that level. But from where we are right now, I suspect that we will actually pop from here today and start testing closer to where we were on Friday. Firstly, on the Friday close here at the 112 range, taking that will push us up towards China high. Taking that will push us up to the 4-hour-50, and taking that will give us the daily 9. Daily 9 will give us some contention, and that is going to be the difficult piece to follow. Let me just give you guys a little bit of a trend line here to follow, So you get a kind of an idea of what this looks like from a peak standpoint that we have to pile out of here, and that. Come on, let me draw that. There we go. So that will be it there. So this is going to be a difficult line here on the trend side to pop through. Once we pop through that, though, then it'll give us a nice little run up here. We can start heading towards the 150s, potentially 160s. I do expect us to reject at some point up here, getting into the mid-August run. That run will push us back down, and we will start to see some settling going into midterms, getting in lower. But again, I think we've got one more jump on this as expected to push higher before we have those concerns. Looking at this from a daily perspective, daily charts perspective, so you can see right here, this is where we are. This is the static I had pointed out earlier last week, or excuse me, later last week for our concerns. We're going to see if we can push back on through here and get up through the daily 9, etc. there. So that's pretty much the same. Micron, same thing, almost identical charts, not much difference in this either. So looking for that bounce to push us on through. Trend line looks similar on if you take this top and the one up above, top left that's not here yet. 4-hour 9s, these are all 24-hour charts too, so we have a little bit of a difference there on that. So no concerns on that side either. And then let me see here, CRDO. So CRDO, this one looks good. Looks like it's stabilizing here. We've held Fridays. Well, actually, we've lost Friday's low now, but we're close, and we need to continue to bounce on up here and take out this cluster of SMAs. This is gonna be a tough cluster to take. This will be a follow-on if Soxol's down. CRDO is not going to recover until that switches. If it does go, this may bounce really quickly. Don't forget this usually gives us a really nice 10 to 15 point trading range, which is exciting as a trader. So if you like to range trade or if you like to scalp, this is a great instrument to utilize for that. CoreWeave trying to on that recovery. I told you guys to be aware of that. It was lighthearted and it came back. So this is my concern. We're still outside of this downtrend, which is good, but at the same time we aren't gaining any ground. So I'm going to sit this one out too and wait for that. Ginger just left. He's starting his run. If you guys need to go over there, you want to get ready for the pre-trade, you can do that. I'm going to finish up with a couple of names here too. AMD, again, earnings coming up here tomorrow, and expect the pullback going into earnings, and then hopefully this is the reversal and we pushes. That will also give us the run we need for Soxol and everything else there. So that looks good. And Tesla's kind of flat. It's been flat, so we needed to kind of pop out of this range here. We're starting to see supports coming in line. And when everything starts consolidating like this and we get too much activity in one area, we start to squeeze. And right now you can see the compression between the 4-hour 9 and the 4-hour 20. We also have the RTH 4-hour 9 right here as support. Bounce off that support would help push us up in here, and tightening this would help us squeeze out of this. So looking for that to happen if possible. You can see the 4-hour 20 is way up above on the regular trading hours here. So looking to see that come on down here and squeeze us even tighter, which would give us a kind of a double coil and push us back up. SpaceX, we all know where that's headed. It's coming back down here too, so that short continues to play, and we'll continue to look at this as we get to a psychological number of 100, which should cause some pullback, back testing up above, and then we'll continue to breach that and push down. Apple on the open, looks like Apple's trying to recover. It's going to give ourselves a push back up here on the open. Let's see where that carries us as we continue to run here. 4-hour 9 right up above, so we'll see the back test there, see if it rejects. Rejection there brings us back to the weekly 9. It already breached it once this morning, so I don't see that that's going to be a problem to hold it. We just need to be careful in this range down here. Losing this brings us into Friday's close, and I'd like to hold Friday's close if at all possible with Apple, and I think we do. So this will turn around likely and push back up. Unfortunately, earnings crushed this. It got oversold. The turnaround here is real, so we need this to get back up into range. Our actual real clusters are up here on the 4-hour for the RTH, so we're going to try to push up on and into those levels probably this week. We did Netflix. Yeah, not super fan of where we are right now. We need to breach that weekly 9, and we had to come off of support in order to get there. And Meta. So Meta is slow recovery here too, kind of waiting for the market. Nice thing is we got this 409 coming up above. We've crossed the 4-hour 20, so support is here. The RTH 409 right above, that is the squeeze that we're in right now, is the conflicting 4-hour 9s from the different time frames. I believe the 24-hour will push up and ultimately prevail and give us a push here. This is strong though because we held this overnight. You can see the flat top kind of forming over here. So we do need a little bit of a push here in order to make that happen. Otherwise, losing this 409 on the 24-hour brings us all the way down to let's see here. Brings us down to Friday's low, which is 540.27, which we don't want to see, and I don't think we will. All right, that's it there on the open. SPY 749.85 and climbing, and dropping and climbing, doing both here as we had a little bit of uncertainty coming into the open. Here with the back test. So don't forget, I said expect a back test. That's not going to be the end of the world. I more than expect that on this kind of a gap up on this kind of a week, along with the prior week pushing in here. Okay, so MHM, Soxel, and MU, what are we thinking for profit taking? So let me go here. So for Soxel, the push that I'm looking for. Let me go on the daily. So the push that I'm going for is still here. So I'm looking for us in the in the 200 range here. But in order to get there, we've got to recalibrate here. Soxel at 104 right now. Let's see here. So my floor on that is in the 90 plus. So if we hit that and then bounce again, look at this type of formation. It's very, very common. We push up after a major breakdown. That breakdown pushes us back up. We reject off of simple MAs, which is what we did here. We pull back, we gain our strength. D200 right here is going to probably give us our bounce, push us up, and then hopefully we have some kick from some positive earnings reports and some news, which gives us a nice quick grind up to 200. That's the goal. Weekly 9 is going to give us some static. This daily 9 area is going to give us some static again with the monthly 9. So we'll get static, and then we've got key level here and a key level here that we got to push through. So all that getting us up to this 200, 205 range, etc. So this is where I'm looking to get to, and obviously anything below last week's low is going to be an exit, because that only opens us up to the next level of support, which is down here at the 57s, which we don't want, and I don't think we see that. But we have to, be cautious here. Take that D200 seriously. That should give us the bounce that we're looking for. Failure there brings us to this level. If that level doesn't work, then we do have to reconsider positions here. But this is not unusual what we're seeing right here. And while this may be scary for some of you guys trying to hold these swings, this is the route. Okay, and then like I said, this week should give us steady growth. So hopefully we see things move in the right direction very shortly here. Looks like SPY's already turning around to bring us up into that range there. We've got the rejection here, 1-2, almost a triple top, but we'll see how that plays out. All right, MHM, I answer your question. Kinda. Okay. Go for it. Try it again. Let me see if I can recalibrate for you. Exact price targets. Range is great. Exact price targets via actual price. So you want me to tell you where to sell. Okay, hold on. Let's look at it this way here. No worries. You're multitasking on me here. I gotcha. All right, so I want to look at, let me just get some drawing tools here. So the D200 is 98.82. Okay, this is my first line of defense here. I want this to hold. If this is lost, I'm going to look at reducing positions here, not exiting completely, but look at a reduction for safety's sake if this is lost. So again, a first set of stop loss for a partial would be 98.50 or 98 period. Last line here is going to be at this level here, which is the 90.13. So 90.13, I do not want to hold below that, because if 90.13 brings us real quick to this level here, which is our low, is 86.21. So at 86.21, 86.21, at 86.21, I am looking to be out of the position entirely, because if we lose 86.21, then we are going to test the next level, which is about 20 points below, or 30 points below. So I don't want to hold in that position there. So 86.21 is my ultimate exit. If you're scaling out of position, you can look at D200 and then this bottom here. So here's your visual cue, 1, 2, 3. Here's your numerical cue, 98, 50, 89, 96, 86, 21. On the top end here, if you want to play this a little close to the vest here, I'm looking for my first exit point for today is at around 128.50. So that's the first exit there, 128.50. And then the second 4-hour candle, we'll have 3 of them today with the 24-hour chart. So the second one will be closer to 127, and the third one closer to 126. So this area here would be my rejection area that I would probably exit and then buy above again. So buying above again would hopefully mean a back test of the daily 9, and that back test holding, which would give me tremendous amount of confidence in the push up here. But again, expect some volatility as we kind of meander through this exercise here. Looks like SPY is going to help push us there. And it looks like, let's see, Apple reversed. Google's doing well. CoreWeave's doing well. CRDO's flat. Qs are holding. And then on MU is kind of doing the similar pullback range here. So yeah, it gives us a little bit of a mixed bag here. But so that should be your numbers on at for Soxhole. All right. Who else and what else? All right. I don't hear anybody else. I am going to.
One sec, Banana. One sec.
No
Don't we
worries.
have SanDisk earnings this week too?
We do. Let's take a look.
So could this maybe be like a suppression before SanDisk, let's say, blows out earnings kind of thing, along with the whole Leopold argument?
It could be. It could
Or...
be. There's a lot. There's a lot here to mull through in terms of how this is going to play out. I wouldn't put it all on SanDisk, though. I think, unfortunately, I think the geopolitical crap has really just jumped in again, and it's such a distraction to the market, and it really gives everybody agita, and it's too hard to manage with that kind of coming in and out as often as it does. So I think that is kind of part of the strength in terms of this uncertainty. Definitely SanDisk on Wednesday looks like. Looks like Wednesday reporting. Definitely that could definitely push that. The slow growth in memory in terms of shortages is the only thing pushing pressure there. SanDisk could show up and say, hey, we've got that sorted. I'd be a little surprised if they have that fully supported, though. So I think SanDisk could give us that push, but I don't think it's solely based on that. I think you're going to see a lot of different pieces here. AMD, I think, is probably going to be a strong rectifier for this. I think AMD actually will do what Jin just said. It'll give us the surprise upside on the earnings, whereas SanDisk, I think, could be a mixed bag on it. But yeah, a lot of swinging here with all of this, a lot of pressure. But here's the thing. all of this aside, get past this week and into next week, none of this really is going to have the suppression that it may look like in the short term. I think it's really going to give us the catalyst to go ahead and push, and all of these are kind of like bench tests of what's going on. We take all these bench tests and we evaluate them and say, all right, if SanDisk is doing this, if AMD is doing this, if PLTR is doing this, and this was the result here with Google. There's a mixed bag of results that people are mulling with, which is why there's pressure here. But once these are out of the way, I think the market says, okay, what's really happening here is that all of this money is going to work. It's actually performing. It's doing the right thing. People are overspending a little bit on there, but are their results going to be higher? And I think that the general consensus of the market always is that the overspenders that are proven overspenders typically come back with things that run. So we're going to see that kind of get baked into the model to help push everything up, and then we're going to have the kind of the reversal after that of the, okay, how high does it go before we have to back test and make sure that we still support that theory? Because if you look at any chart right now in the space, the run away with it attitude has happened so many times and so often that it really just makes things look crazy. So that back test is going to come earlier this time, especially with the uncertainty in the elections, and that will give us our back test mid-August or tertiary August, and then we'll see where we land from there.
So you're thinking there's going to be a little bit of a euphoric rally sometime in the next, realistically, 2 weeks? Because I mean, we're already in August.
Next week, so. week and a half, could be this week.
And you're thinking, yeah, exactly. So you're thinking this is like another kind of like big relief bounce. Maybe price targets 165, 200 for, let's say, Stoxel. MU may flirt with 1,000 again, and then basically just take your fucking money and run, and don't look back, and just wait for back tests to happen after that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would actually at that point in time, depending on where SPY is and where SPY bounces off of, I would consider running a market short for on a longer stretch to be able to capitalize on that uncertainty. Finding the floor of that will be the hard part, because this could result in a, it really depends on geopolitically where we are too. This could give us a real run for our money, finding the bottom of this without the risk of a V-shaped recovery in an overnight session or something. So as an options player, there's going to be some risk in that short. But as a options player in the short term, what we're talking about from here over the next 2 weeks, you just spelled it out.
Okay. Go long for the next possibly even 3 weeks, depending on this whole bullshit. Also, oil. Because it got hit pretty hard because of the peace talks that Trump says that are happening, that Iran says are not happening.
Right.
So yeah, which always happens.
Right.
So question: is it prudent to maybe try to buy in the mid to lower 70s, expecting that you'd get to the 80s again?
I mean, if I had to guess,
I know it's highly fucking manipulated market, obviously. But.
Yeah, the politics are the part that just makes this just a complete train wreck to follow. So I would be very cautious with any oil plays right now. But more than likely, oil will go up from here. But again, I don't like playing that one too hard. It's a lot easier actually to play things that are slightly less geopolitically influenced.
Okay.
Especially in this with what's going on.
Yeah, with it happening every fucking.
It's every day. It's every day. And
every day.
So there's not really a lot of stability to lean on. SMAs don't really help you. Setting trends a little bit, but I would not be surprised if we saw 120. It's very possible. It's very possible to go even higher than that. And the problem is that market is so corrupt. And all the research that I do, it's very, very hard for me to filter the corruption out of that for oil. It's to the point where it's just not worth it for me to do. It's just too much reading, too much analysis, too much that goes nowhere. So it's a tough one for sure. I'll follow it. I'll get a baseline. I'll get where it is. It's important. It definitely, I created a chart around it because of that, on a wartime basis. But to be honest with you, there are people who are shilling $225 dollars for oil, and I don't see that happening. And I struggle at in the mouths that it's coming from are real mouths. So I don't know. I don't know who's trying to say what for what.
Yeah, it just seems like it's so manipulated at this point.
It is. It is. Well, all of it's manipulated, right?
And,
But you got to get comfortable with the manipulation to be able to
Yeah.
analyze it. And oil leaves me a little uneasy.
For sure. Cool. That's I guess that's it for me.
All right. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. All right. I'm going to shut it down. Ginger's running hot over there. I'll hop over and trade with you guys. Thanks, everybody.